Okay, so I'll start with a flying saucer, and I'll open that up in Photoshop. And let's get rid of the background. I'll just click on my wand here tool, and double click on my background to get rid of the background. Kind of make sure it's only selecting the background. There we go. Then I'll hit the delete key. Now I've got my saucer, and I kind of want that to be even. Then I can figure that out later. Okay, so now I'll save that as a Photoshop file. That way we'll keep the background transparent. And I can import that. Let me see, probably want some sort of stars in the background. Let me see. There we go. And copy that. And now copy image. Okay, so now I've got my background, and I have my flying saucers. And this one, the format doesn't really matter. So now I've got my flying saucer and my background. I'm going to open up After Effects. And once I open that up, I need to make a composition. So let's do New Composition. And we'll keep that at 29.97, high def, 720, 29.97, frame rate. Let's make it just 5 seconds. The background color is irrelevant. So let's import the two things we need. We can either do multiple files or file, it doesn't really matter. So here's our saucer and our stars, and we'll just import those. And when we do this, we've got a couple of options. We can either drag our components, our images, into the timeline, or right onto the composition frame here. So like I say, we can either drag it here or drag it onto the composition. So there we have our saucer. And we have the axle point right in the middle. If you don't have that, let me see here. And you can use this to move your axial point around, and that's what your flying saucer is going to pivot around. So now, let me go back to the arrow. And let's start it over here. And that is our position. So in order to set the keyframe for the position, we have to hit the P key. And then there's this little clock, like a stopwatch, and we click on that, and that will put this little diamond shape there. That's where it's going to start. So in order to have a special effect, you have to have time pass. So let's do 1001, 1 second, and 0 frames. I'll just move this manually out to the middle. And so now if we play it, it just comes out to the middle. So what if we want text? So we'll stop it here where it stops in the middle, and I'll put a text, and then all this comes up. It's pretty easy just to click on here and write whatever we want to write. And let's say we want that text, we'll go back to the arrow, to end up there. So we can go backwards, right? Well, I can move it forward another second, set my keyframe for, remember we want to be on this layer, and we want size, and we'll put that at 100%, okay? And then go back to here, to this keyframe, and set it, now set size at 0. And so our size is going to go like that. That's not what we want. We want actually for it to come out from the axial point. So I have to find that axial point. Let me see if I can find, okay, it's down here. So remember, we'll use this tool here and move our axial point to the middle. Okay. Now, click on my eyes to put everything back. Now when we go back, it goes there, and then it goes like that. But let's say I want it to actually start in the middle, okay, and then up there. So I'll hit position. Now I've got position on the same layer, and I'll hit my stopwatch. And I want it to start, remember back here at this one. And I'll put that in the middle. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Boom, there we go. It's that easy. So now if I want to save this, I'll go File, don't do Save As, you're just saving the project as it is. I'll go Export, Add to Render Queue, and then in order to know where it is, I'll click on Comp 1, and I'll call it ae1 and save that onto my desktop, but that doesn't save it. You have to hit render. And there you go. It's as easy as that. Now don't forget to take this and put it into Final Cut. In order to save it, to upload it to web. So you can either do Final Cut or iMovie. once you're in here, we import it. ae1. And then share that master file, settings, computer, and that's it, ae1. And save it somewhere where you'll know where to load it.